Let's do a little stretch. You find yourself in a comfortable seated position. A cross-leg position works best for this for me. You could also sit up on a block so you have a little bit of elevation if that makes your hips or back feel better. So making sure that you can sit up nice and tall right in your sits bones. And then you're going to just walk your right hand out to the side. Take your left arm up. Get tall, right? Pull your rib cage up away from your pelvis. And then take it over, but take it over by reaching out. Reach, reach, reach. You're trying to create length through the whole body. You're going to make sure this left hip stays down. It doesn't pop up, right? So you have that nice stretch. You're going to go wherever you go. And if you need to adjust your hand position, if you can get all the way down to your elbow, do that. And breathing. Right now, we're making sure the shoulders are facing straight forwards. And then we're going to go ahead and rotate down toward your thighs. You're just going to turn your body slightly. So your reach is now a little bit more diagonally across the room. But that left hip is still staying down. And then turn it back square in front of you. And then we're going to turn up toward the ceiling, but only a tiny bit. There's not a lot of range of motion here for most people. So we're just going to look up, kind of like look up under your armpit. See if you can turn your chest up toward the sky just a little bit. Check into that left hip, make sure it's still down. Come back to square, take an inhale, and exhale. Bring yourself back up. Just sit here for a second and notice the difference from side to side. My left side feels like it's an inch taller than my right side right now. So let's match it up. I'm going to uncross and recross in the opposite direction. Just because we are creatures of pattern, we usually probably always sit in the same way. So it's nice to do the opposite sometimes too. So right arm reaches up, get tall, right? Let the rib cage lift and then take it over. Extending that arm out the top, keeping this right hip down so you have a long stretch through the side, supporting yourself with this other arm any way that works for you. And then you're going to take a nice inhale and exhale, rotate down towards your thigh. Now reaching across, right, to the corner of the room. Right hip still staying down. Breathing. Turn back to square. And then again, we're going to look up under your armpit, just trying to turn your chest up toward the ceiling a tiny bit. It won't be big. Return to square. Take an inhale. Exhale. Sit nice and tall. If you have some more time, you're going to take it into a rotation here as well. So again, I'm going to recross my legs in the opposite direction just for variety. I'm going to sit nice and tall. I'm going to take my left hand to my right knee. My right hand goes behind me, and I'm just going to rotate. I'm using my hands to gently push into it, but I'm thinking about creating some of the rotation from my core, right? Using my core to turn into it. So I'm going to inhale and get tall. And then exhale, see if you can rotate a little farther. I don't like to force rotation. I want to think about allowing the rotation to happen. So the breath is your most powerful tool for that. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, see if you can rotate a little farther. And then gently come out of it. We'll go to the other side. Right hand on left knee, left hand goes behind you. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale. See how much rotation you can get. Check into your hips, because I just noticed on this side I have less range of motion. So my hips are trying to rotate a little bit too. They're just going like that a tiny bit to try to get me some more range of motion, but I really only want to get the range of motion from the thoracic region, right? This section in the middle where the spine attaches to the ribs. So I'm gonna check in, and if I notice that happening, I'm just gonna think about grounding that right hip down and back. There. And I'm noticing that this side has less range of motion, but I'm trying to notice that without judgment. It's not my bad side. All my sides are great. I love them all, right? You don't have a bad side. Your sides are all good too. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, get tall, ribs get broad. And exhale. And slowly release. Hands on my knees. I'm going to round my spine back and drop my head forward as far as I can. And then I'm going to gently pull on my knees as I come forward. Take my head back, look up to the ceiling, right? So this is a little bit, if you've done cat-cow before, this is a seated cat-cow. You can do this sitting in a chair as well. You're just trying to get as much movement from your spine as you can in this seated position. Staying out of any ranges of pain. So if you get back and it gets to be someplace where it's painful to your low back, just don't go that far. It's okay. One more time. And you're ready to go back to whatever you were doing before.